All right, today I want to talk to you about the big dog. We got to get a little distance. Now, we're not going to talk about club head speed today. We're not going to try to swing harder. We're going to try to hit it farther while maintaining a very similar club head speed. Okay, that's what we're going to get into. Very simple things that's going to give you extra distance. And by the way, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. So, I've gone through a fitting. I think it's an important thing for you to do. I've got my fitting. I know what I need. 10 degrees of loft. I've got my Fujikura shaft, Atmos. This is what works for me. But now what I want to show you is what you're doing in your swing that's stealing distance from you and what you can do to gain distance without making this thing go any faster. Okay? So, this is what you're doing. You're taking the club, you're moving the ball position forward, so it's up there off that foot. Now you get into this like this. Shoulders get, so show me the down the line view if you would, Gibbsy. Shoulders get really open, okay? And I can tell you, if there's one huge mistake that you're making, it's by opening up your shoulders. It is detrimental and has a huge effect, and we're going to get into that. But you open up your shoulders like this. Then, because they're open, your shoulders tend to seesaw, so you don't really get turned behind it. And then you hit this shot, just like this. So I swung the club. Come on up to the front here, because this will be fascinating for you. So I swung the club at 95 miles an hour. Pretty good club head speed. But I only got 138 miles an hour of ball speed out of that 90, call it 95 miles an hour. I got 138 on 95. Not great. The other thing that happened was this ball had tremendous side spin, almost 1,200 RPMs of side spin, which means that club face is wide open, which is why that slices so much, because of that massive amount of side spin. Backspin's up to 3,000. What does backspin do? It stops the golf ball. Okay, so I've got a ball now that's got a massive amount of spin, both back and side, and I launch it at 9 degrees. So put this all together in your soup, kind of stir it up a little bit, and what you get is you get a ball that flies out at about 211 yards, and it rolls out to about 231, and that's if it's kind of dry. If you're playing in the spring, that ball's not going to roll that far, and all of a sudden, this 211 carry is going to produce less than 231, all right? You're going to probably get 225, maybe 220. You're not going to get a lot. So what we got to do is we got to change a bunch of things. We got to get the ball to have less backspin and less side spin, all right? How are we going to do that? We also have to make sure that this ball launches higher than 8.8, call it 9 degrees, higher than 9. I want to see it at 14, maybe 15 degrees of launch. But the key to this whole thing, and what you're going to learn from this, is that club head speed at 95 miles an hour isn't really going to change that much. But watch what happens to the ball speed, because this is going to get very interesting. So, I want to tell you about the address position, because we're going to make 2 adjustments in the address position, all right? The first adjustment that we're going to make is we're going to get, our ball position is going to be up there, but I want to get our shoulders to tilt. I don't want them to be level and open. I want them to be tilted and square. So I have that ball position up there like this. But now what I want to do is I want to tilt the shoulders and square them up. And now when I do that, what happens is that when I get turned behind it, my head actually moves back a little bit. So go ahead to that face on again. So I get set up like this. When I turn back like this, you can see my head has a little shift to the back. Same exact move I'm trying to make, only this time, because the ball position is forward, I have not been influenced to open up my shoulders. I've actually got them tilted and square, okay? And that takes a completely different body rotation, shoulder rotation, length of swing. Whole lot of things change here, okay? So, again, I'm trying to swing it at 95 miles an hour. I was at 130, I think 138 ball speed, and a total of 211 and 231. So here we go. So now, take a look at what we got there. Now, this is just making the first alteration. All I did there was just square up the shoulders. I got that club head speed. Now, that other one was 95. This is 94, so I'm down a mile an hour. But because of what happens in my shoulder position and keeping it square, the path of the golf club got a little bit better. And as a result, I got a much better collision. And now my ball speed went up 5 miles an hour. I went from 138 to 143. And what ended up happening? Well, now I carried the ball 220. So I gained 10 yards on 1 mile an hour less clubhead speed. I gained 10 yards of carry. And then, because my backspin numbers were so different and my side spin numbers are so different, remember I was at 3,000, now I'm at 2,000. And the other one was 1,100. This is 160 of left spin. So I got rid of right spin, not massive amounts. I got rid of the right spin to, let's call it just a square shot or straight spin. That golf ball out to 242. So I gained 10 yards of carry, and I also gained another 12 yards in the outcome, 230 to 242. My launch there wasn't as good as it's going to be, 9.4. I still can get that a little bit higher. And then the apex at 54, pretty similar, okay? But I'm already up 12, and I'm at the same exact, plus or minus, same exact clubhead speed. So now I got to do one other thing here, okay? So what I got to do on this one is I got to alter my trail hand, the way I'm getting my hand onto the club. And I've talked to you about this before, about with the shoulders getting open, you tending to come into this grip on top of it. I want you to get this hand to come into the grip underneath it. So when we get underneath it, now we're going to actually start to put some good draw spin on this. That club face is going to be a little bit squarer, maybe even slightly close to the path. And shoulders are going to be quite natural. So here we go, same thing. Ball position is up forward, shoulders are tilted. Now my trail hand is underneath here, 95. Okay, now, this is where this one's going to get even more fun. So I didn't try to swing any faster. The clubhead speed went a little faster, 98. So I went up 3 miles an hour. But again, not tremendous. But my ball speed jumped up to 146 now. So now I've gone up from 138 to 143 to 146. I didn't get the launch quite where I wanted to get it. I still want to get it to 14, but I'm getting closer. Now I'm at 11. And what ended up happening? I got another 6 yards of carry. So now I'm 220, call it 225, 225 carry. And my ball got out to about 250. So I've gained 20 yards of distance with just making these two pre-swing alterations. I've got my trail hand a little bit more underneath. And if your left hand feels like it's got, or lead hand's got to move over, no big deal. And the shoulders are getting a little bit tilted. Now what we got to do is we got to finish this thing off. And I got to get swinging up on this. So now, to swing up on this, we're going to put a tee in front, and I'm going to put a tee right here. Okay? Now, what I want to feel is that when I come through here, let me take that off, I want to be able to hit this ball and miss that tee. So when I'm coming in, I'm hitting one and missing the other. And you can see that club head now going up right there. That's exactly what we want to try to do. Okay, so I got it in the green, I think. So ball position forward. I got to move this just a little bit because I'm gonna stand on that mat. I'll fall off of it. So what I'm going to do is, now I'm in here like this. Now I'm underneath like that. Now, again, 95 is my goal here. So here we go. So this was even better. I still didn't quite get the launch that I'm looking for. I got that a little on the bottom of the golf club, quite frankly. So I didn't get the launch that I'm looking for. But 96 miles an hour, 144 ball speed, so that's up there. 228, call it 230 carry. So that's still up there. 250 is the distance. My apex got up to 67 on a 12-degree launch. And I can still get to 14. That's what I want to get to. I'm going to hit one more. Now, but I want you to see, how this tee in the front I missed? That's really important for you. So you just take 2 tees and you miss that forward tee. All right, am I in the green? Yeah. All right, here we go. So I've got that way. Shoulders tilted up. Ball position forward, trail hand underneath. And here we go. Okay, now, this is not ideal. It had a little bit of too much of a draw for me. Okay, but I want you to learn something from that particular shot. Not my best. I only carried it 220, but watch what happened. I got my spin now down from that 3,000 down to about 1,200 because I put a little bit of draw spin on it. That's at 643. I wasn't trying to do anything. I just let my grip, my shoulder line change what was taking place. And what I got was I got a ball that because of the spin, it had a little bit of rollout to it. 255, I got that up. So now I'm from 230 to 255. I gained 25 yards on, that's 95.6 miles an hour of club head speed. So I've got the same club head speed, but I've increased the ball speed. I have decreased all my spins, and I've increased my launch angle. That's at 15. That's really, really good. And all of a sudden, I'm hitting that shot. The apex is at 70. I'm hitting that shot, and that ball's taken off. It doesn't have the braking power. It's got some spin to keep it in the air, but it doesn't have so much backspin that it's stopping the ball. That ball gets on the ground, and it goes. Okay? Now, last one. This time, I'm going to hit this without the tee in front, and I'm going to hit this one. Make sure it's in the green. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a bigger turn, take all the stuff that I've done, and let's see what we can get here, okay? So, shoulders tilted, trail hand under, little flat or a little bit more rotation with the body. And here we go. This one I actually got, because I made a little bit more turn, I didn't try so hard. I just made a turn, and now look what happened. Really didn't try to do anything different. I increased club head speed because my body made a bigger, more efficient turn. Because of that ball position being where it was before and my shoulders being influenced by that level, my shoulder turn was more steep, kind of tipped. And so while I was working really hard, I only got 95 miles an hour of club head speed on it. But now, focused a little bit more on that rotation of the body going backwards there. My shoulders turned differently. I still felt like I swung just as hard, but I got more club head speed. I picked up about 4 miles an hour of club head speed without even trying. Wasn't trying to do that. This isn't about club head speed. But because I did that better coil, now all of a sudden what I got was I got more distance. And what ended up happening was this. With a little bit of a thin shot, so I got that just a little bit thin. That launched at 10, but it carried 238 yards. Carried 238 yards, which is longer than my other drive was flying and rolling. And I got that thing out to 260 on a 70-foot apex. 590 RPMs of left spin. So change that grip. Change your shoulder line. Focus on your body just being a little bit more level with your shoulders and the backswing, which is kind of that's a little bit of an extra credit. When you start to do that, what you're going to start to do is this, without any more effort, and you may get more club head speed, but you won't lose any club head speed. You're just going to end up gaining a much better, more efficient transference of energy from the club into the golf ball, and as a result, your ball speed, which is now at 149, that ball speed's at 149, up from 138. It's 11 miles an hour ball speed. And I got that thing up to 260. You can do the exact same thing. Make sure you tell people about this one, because this one is going to help everybody hit it a lot farther, okay? Adjust that grip. Make sure your shoulders are set correctly. Feel that body rotating a little bit more. Make sure you're swinging up on that by using that tee in front of the golf ball, and you're going to pick up a ton of distance as well. To improve all parts of your game, subscribe to my channel and click the link below.